out there working hard and keeping this country going. We appreciate what you all do, and we're here to help you to make sure you keep yourself straight and you don't get any problems and you make your life a lot easier.
Nice. I love that energy.
My name is Harold. I'm with Prestige Trucking, and this is George. He's with HCM Compliance, and we're here to tell you the pros and cons on the insurance side as well as the compliance side to make your life easier.
That's right. Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Truth in Trucking. And today we have
Out of service.
Out of service. Nobody's getting out of service. Everybody's great out there. Everybody knows what to do. Drivers are awesome. You know, they drive for companies who don't overwork them. This doesn't happen. Well, folks, this is something that's causing a lot of companies to close their doors. They're not getting a good handle on getting put out of service. And, well, me and Harold we would like to talk about the top causes of out of service and what it means in trucking.
So what does it mean you're out of service? Maybe we got some new blood out there that really haven't had an out of service yet.
Yeah, so out of service can come down to two things. You either put out of service as your operation, your company is put out of service, or you put out of service at a weigh station.
That must be terrible. I can't be imagining I'm out of service and then I'm stuck in the thing. When do I do that?
Yeah, well, it depends what you're out of service for. Some DOT officers will put you out of service and you can't leave. If you have an hour service violation for your logbook, falsifying logs, they can put you out of service for however long they think you needed to rest or whatever your violation was.
There's three types of levels of out of service criteria. So on level 1, what that means to you all, level 1 means that inspection officer is going to look at all your logs, your documents, do your walk around your whole truck, and make sure everything is perfect. And I believe I have to go back and check that. I think you even get a little sticker for that to go in your window for a level 1 inspection. A level 2 inspection, they're going to inspect your documents, but however, they're still going to do a walk around on your truck, and they're not going to do as aggressive inspection as a level 1, but the level 2 is still going to involve a walk around. And level 3, what that means is they're just going to look at your logbook. They're going to make sure that you are in compliance on driving. And guys take to unplug the things. We talked about this a couple episodes ago about how some drivers just don't know how to use their ELD.
Yeah.
And they get their own violation because they can't produce the information that the officer is requiring. And I just did a little snip today with Prestige, and we talked about some of the ELDs that don't meet the compliance anymore of the FMCSA that are being removed from the market.
That's right.
So those things, you got to be very aware of it. You got to stay active in it. And I would say to you, if you're looking for more information on these little news tidbits from the FMCSA, we do that with Prestige as well. But that being said, what are some of the common safety violations leading to an out of service?
Well, let's see. Let's go down a quick list here. Non-compliant or no ELD. That's one. We got another one.
That is huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Let me go real quick down a few of them, and then we'll go one by one, little by little. Let's see. For ELD, tire violations, overweight trucks or overweight trailers.
Oh, they never do that. What are you talking about?
Cargo securement issues. That's mainly for you flatbed guys out there. I think let's discuss those. Those are kind of the top out of service issues. And there's another one here I want to add is the faulty brakes. A lot of guys are getting violations and even put out of service. Flat tire, brake chamber went out. leaks in your brake lines. So yeah, you guys need to be on top of that. To talk about the brake situation, if we are giving out free documents that you should have as a trucking company for certifying every time you get your brakes serviced. They need to be signed by a certified brake mechanic. We have those documents for free. Just contact HCM Integrity Services. I'll put a link there, more info on us, but you'll find our information everywhere. We're everywhere on social media, and just request the free compliance forms for the brake systems. Want to go start with ELDs first?
ELDs, like we discussed it before in the previous podcast. A lot of times we find that drivers are unplugging them, or they don't know how to operate their ELDs. And I'm not saying that, listen, I don't know how to operate every piece of equipment in there, but you really need to make a true effort to make sure you know how to pull your data from the ELD when that officer expects you to give you that information. If you don't, he's going to put you out of service. And if you are a habitual offender of doing that, that could be even shutting down your DOT as well.
Yeah, and that's when the safety investigations or audits come into play. DOT will come request a visit and would request a safety investigation on your trucking operations, which could lead to getting put out of service indefinitely, getting a conditional safety rating, which will make it almost impossible to get loads, and you will have problems with insurance or getting high insurance quotes.
Conditional rating is a huge thing, especially in the insurance world. And believe me, everybody is out there looking at those conditional ratings. Everybody is looking at those out of services. A lot of those out of services, those conditional ratings, they're not even, it's just not really paying attention. Is really where the problem comes in. You took the job as being a truck driver, you have to do the things that a truck driver is required to do. If you start taking shortcuts, you're going to hurt yourself financially in a lot of different ways, whether it's insurance, whether it's fines, whether it's time. All those things add up, and it affects your ability to be an effective, good, money-making machine.
Right. So one thing about ELDs, guys, that I want to mention is engines that are 1999 or older are not required to have an ELD, but are required to have paper logs. You need to make sure you got your drivers educated on how to fill out the paper logs. Again, we can help you with that. Our company does help you. We could provide training videos if you need help with that. The other thing is there's a lot of misinformation about whether or not box trucks need ELDs. If you are driving interstate, you need to have an ELD no matter what. Even if it's a non-CDL driver, you need to have an ELD. You cross the state lines in a box truck. The other thing with the ELDs that we're finding also is that it's not properly connected. The device in your truck is not properly connected and communicating. For example, Motive is one of the ELD providers. And they're not sponsoring this by any way, but if you are willing to sponsor Motive, we're open to that. But anyway, using them as an example, the device is not communicating to them, and so you need to make sure your drivers or you're checking to make sure that Bluetooth is connected and everything is good to go, or you're not recording your ELD. It might be working on the phone, but it's not working when you need to send the electronic logbook to the auditor during an audit. You don't want to get caught there. The other thing with the ELD violations are so if you're 150 mile radius, I believe you don't need ELD or under, but you do need a timesheet. You need to be recording that. You need to also still have some type of recording of your daily work. We have forms that we give out free. If you need some of those forms, those timesheets, we'll be willing to give that to you. Just reach out to us. Do you have anything else to mention about ELD?
No, it's just so important for hours of service on the insurance end of the business, because the last thing the insurance company wants to do is to insure somebody that is exceeding their time. You know, once you get past that 11-hour period of driving, they don't believe, and there's a lot of information about that. You're not as responsible as after driving 11 hours, and you are a hazard to the road. So the more of those violations you have, the more that the insurance company thinks you're a big hazard. And the sooner we start doing better jobs of watching what we're doing, and I understand everybody wants to make money. I understand some drivers are being paid by the mile, but you know what? You can't violate the law. And when you violate the law, you're only going to, whatever you make, they're going to take it away.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, get informed. Reach out to HCM Integrity, where compliance comes. We can help you with that. You can reach out to Harold at Prestige. He's familiar with that, and how that affects your insurance. Hours of service is one of the biggest things, one of the biggest reasons carriers fall into safety investigations, and why they can't afford insurance, because they get a lot of hours service violations, and it's from the drivers. And usually it's just the driver, you're not informing the driver correctly, you're not showing them correctly. Talk to the drivers, man. Get them comfortable with it. Get companies to help you, third-party companies like ourselves. The other thing is tire violations. Guys, they sell, you got to get your drivers used to, or get incentive programs. Give your driver a bonus. Give them something if they're taking care of your truck. They need to check those tires. They sell, I forgot what that's called, so you can check the tread of the tire. There's a certain tread they need to be at, because if he gets stopped at a weigh station and he's under that tread, he could get a tire violation. And
not only that, he's got to make sure there's air in the tire.
Yeah, the pressure needs to be right. Yeah.
Those things you got to check. And those are, lack of a better term, really stupid reasons to get out of it.
Right. It's just laziness a lot of times. And I get it, man. Listen, drivers out there, I get it, man. Getting out the truck, checking the tires, I know
100
it's
degrees outside.
Yeah, I know it's frustrating. It's a pain in the butt. But listen, do it, man. I don't know about you. I don't want to be stranded out in the middle of nowhere because I was just too lazy to check something. Do it, man. Don't be that position. Don't put yourself there. The other thing is overweight trailers. Come on, guys. Listen, I don't care if the load says it weighs 10,000 pounds. I don't care if the confirmation says it weighs 10,000 pounds. That driver, every time they get loaded, should go to a CAT scale and get weighed. If you're overweight, you go back to that shipper and tell them to fix that load. If you're overweight and they only agree to 10,000 pounds and you find that you have 40,000 pounds, then they need to pay you for that. Or something needs to be
that's your money.
Something needs to be done.
That's what you're getting paid for.
So go to those CAT scales. And again, I know that's frustrating having to go there, but do it. It's better to do that thing and stop at a weigh station and pay thousands of dollars because you're overweight. You could have known that way before you got to that situation. Same thing with cargo securement. You got it. If you're not familiar, drivers, please, if you're not familiar how to secure your load, you need to ask somebody, and you need to make sure you're familiar with that. God forbid, you can ruin your life or someone else's life for not securing.
That being said, the one thing I would tell you to do, I would tell you to put a copy of how you're supposed to secure that flatbed when you're driving. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because I've heard so many stories that the DOT officers always have conflicting reasoning how to put loads on, how to tie down loads on flatbeds. They say it's every other pallet. Some say it's not every other pallet. Some say every pallet. I mean, of course, the more the better. But on the other hand, make sure you don't undersecure the load. Because, like you said, you don't want a claim. You don't want $1 million claim. You don't want someone to die. You don't want none of that. You have to go through drug testing and everything else on that.
Yeah, I hope this information, I hope this provides a lot of value to those out there listening. Again, we just touched on these issues very briefly. There's a lot more we can get into. Maybe in other episodes we'll do that. If anyone has any comments, any experience that you've had with any of these issues, hours of service, ELD, any questions you have, we can help. There's videos out there. We're making more and more training videos to help. So just let us know. Like and subscribe so you can be, you can stay in tune all the time. We get new videos. And please share your comments, any ideas, any things you want to talk about. Please put it down in the comments. Harold, you got anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to bring out a couple other things that's important, I think. If failing a drug test, there's no reason to fail a drug test if you're driving. Returning to duty process, all those different things, it's important for you to follow through with it. If you don't do it right, you're going to have a hard time. And you don't want that stigma over your DOT later on. And we'll talk about this another day because I think it's an important subject.
Yeah, very important.
We're going to talk about consortiums. We're going to talk about how you're supposed to get drug tested. There's some rules and regulations you're supposed to do when you do that. So we're going to say that for another episode. I think it's important. And God forbid if someone gets killed. I had someone jump in front of a truck one time. He got out of it, but things like that do happen.
Well, real quick, now that you mentioned that, yeah, we're going to definitely talk about that on another episode. Again, we also do consortium. HCM does consortium. There is help, guys. If anyone out there has gotten a positive drug test for whatever reason, it happens. You're not alone. There's help out there. There are facilities. There's places you can go. We also do the return to duty process. We can help whatever company you're going to work with, or if you're a trucking company, we can help you with a driver you want to hire and put him through that process. We're very familiar with it. There is help. If you don't let your CDL, don't throw it out the window. You had a positive drug test. No one's here judging you. You want the help. You want to get back on track. There's help. Okay, there are SAP facilities you can go to, and there are carriers that will hire anyone who's going through a SAP or return to duty process. Okay, there's a lot of groups out there. Contact us if you want to know where you can find those companies, those carriers, and let us know if you have any questions about it. We're here to help.
And just to put a final note on this, for the carriers out there, failing a drug test will show up in your DOT.
Yep.
Medical consultation will show up on your DOT. Failing a DOT inspection will show up on your DOT. These things will show up on your DOT. There's different violations that will continue on showing up in the DOT. And some of them just don't go away right away. Speeding tickets show up on your DOT. All these things, I sit there and see a clean out DOT, and then also I see one drug thing. It kills the whole process. And I have to go to the underwriters and do a song and dance to try to get you the best possible rate. So you've got to make sure. And you know what? If you get a bad driver, I know it's hard to find drivers. Get rid of the bad drivers.
Yeah.
Reward the good drivers and get rid of the bad ones.
That's right. Incentive programs go a long way. You'd be surprised what a nice hat and a gift card will do. It goes a long way. Incentive programs. The other thing that you touched on, so we can help with the SAP if you guys have a positive drug test. The thing is, guys, as a trucking company, if you have a violation of hours of service, you have a driver who got a positive drug test, the best thing you need to do is react and correct it. When you show the DOT or an insurance agent that you have jumped on that, you are correcting it, that's what you need to do. No one's perfect.
Be proactive, not
reactive. Proactive, and no one's perfect. All the big companies out there, pretty much every company has had violations. The key thing is to correcting it and working with companies like myself, like HCM, who can help you. We do have hybrid systems that can help. You may have your own compliance department, but you can also work with a compliance company as a hybrid and tackle your safety and even improve your safety score. So I think we're going to wrap
this one up. And again, we thank you all for listening to us. We're trying to give you good information. If there's information that you're looking for, we want to give you that information. You got a question, you don't think you understand it, everything when we bring to the table, we very research to make sure it's good information for you. So, and we use a lot of our own personal experiences. Me and George work together in a couple of different cases a lot of times. So George knows how I react. I know how he reacts. We know how to work with each other. So that's our goal, is to make, as George would say, bring trucking back. Right?
That's right. Make trucking great again.
All right,
guys.
George,
It's all right, man. It's a long day.
It's a long day.
Hey, listen, so please, any comments you have, if you hear anything that we say that you don't agree with, we're open to criticism. Please comment whatever you feel that it might be different. If you have different information, share that with us. Any topics you'd like to discuss, share that with us. Again, we're here to help you guys. Okay, that's what we're here to do. So again, I'm George with HCM Integrity Services.
Harold with Precision Trucking. You have a great evening and stay safe.
That's right. Thank you for tuning in to the Truth in Trucking podcast.